Welcome back to another Minisode. What did you think of the episode with Stacey Womack? I know it was probably hard for a lot of us to listen to, especially if you have dealt with abuse in your life, or other side of the coin, if you've been the abuser in your past. It was probably difficult for you to listen to this as well. However, I hope it was also encouraging to see that more people are speaking up, that there are ministries to help both sides of that coin. I thought that was an absolute blessing that God used such a beautiful woman, beautiful spirit like Stacey Womack to start this ministry. She had never experienced any sort of domestic abuse, any sort of abuse at all. And yet God chose her to have such a heart and a burden for people who do. She could not relate in the same way. And that would be a turnoff to a lot of different people. And yet look at what the ministry has done. Only God. You're not called because you're equipped. You're equipped when you're called. That's what I thought about the whole time I was interviewing her. If God calls you to something, even if you don't feel you can do that job, He will give you the necessary tools to do that. Maybe you are wanting to start a ministry, but you don't feel equipped. Maybe you want to start a ministry and you're like, I got this. I can totally do this. This is in my wheelhouse. Let's all just take a step back. I'm talking to myself as well, because when I was set free from my pornography addiction, I was on top of, I have to start a ministry. I got to be involved in this ministry, this ministry. I wanted to do all the things to help others be set free too. But after having to come home early from my ministry opportunity that I got to do, I had a rude awakening, if you will. It was not my time. It was not my time to be involved in that type of ministry. My ministry needed to be my husband, my family, and God. It was really hard for me to let that desire go because I wanted to help other women be set free from their pornography addictions. But I let it go and allowed God to do what He needed to do in me. And over the last year, I have gotten so many opportunities to pick up that ministry, I guess, opportunity. And I've gotten to share my story on so many different podcasts, and it's helping people. It's encouraging them. I was just told today by somebody how it impacted them, and I started crying. It was encouraging to see that God has finally given me that chance. Well, here I go again. another mini-sode with some tears. But it gave me that opportunity to do what I've wanted to do, which is share my story and help others be set free. And I'm thankful that He allows me this opportunity. So if you are feeling a tug to start a ministry, to be involved in a ministry, if you feel very equipped, or if you don't feel equipped at all, do what God asks you to do. Don't be afraid to take that step out of the boat and walk on that water, and just allow God to do what He needs to do. And if He's not giving you what you need, then perhaps it's not time. And that is okay. It is okay. So you need to allow God to do what He has to do, because then that's when you're going to see His glory shine. That's when things are going to go well. If you force it, it's not going to work. If you say, no, I'm not going to do this because I'm not equipped to do this, I don't have any experience, then it's not going to give God the glory, and it's not allowing God to do what only He can do. We only see a small picture, a small fraction of what can be done. He sees it all. So just give it to Him and allow Him what He needs to do in you to prepare you. Maybe He's saying, no, not now, because there's something in you that's prideful, which kind of happened to me. Now that I look back on it, I had a little bit of pride. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. That was the problem. I would not have been successful in the things that I wanted to do back then had I had been allowed to do it back then. It was all about me. I was focused too much on me. So here's your question. If you're feeling pulled into a specific direction, ministry opportunity, just something one off that God wants you to do, why aren't you doing it? Take a sobering look at why you are choosing not to do it. Is it because you don't feel equipped? Is it because you're scared? Is it because you think it's beneath you? Maybe you think you're better than that. Maybe you just think it's boring or doesn't make sense. I've been there. When I was told that I needed to work on my ministry of my family, I was very bummed. I'll be honest. I said, really, that's it? I'm just a wife and a mom. But listen to that word just. That is not just a thing. That is a high calling if that's what you are. You're raising up the next generation. You're showing the world what a healthy marriage looks like. There's nothing wrong with that being the only thing that you do on this earth. It is leaving a lasting legacy. So figure out what it is God is calling you to do and find out why you're not doing it. And then from there, do the necessary steps that you need to be obedient, because you don't want to sin because you are not doing what you know you should be doing. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. God bless.